I want to thank Ryan and Dad. That was like really sweet. Sorry, I haven't seen it yet. But I just want to thank everybody that put such a wonderful video together and organizing this event. I know Jacqueline put a ton of work in and the whole RMAC committee. I also want to thank Commissioner Graham, Kirsten, everybody involved in deciding to induct me. It's just such an honor, such a privilege. I want to thank everybody from CSM that was part of nominating me. Thanks for thinking I'm cool. It's really cool to be here and to represent Colorado School of Mines, which I'm so proud of. And you guys are crushing it tonight. Good job. I'm just, and especially in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, which I just hold in such high regard. We always kind of wind it just regular season meets because we had such a good conference. So like every track cross country meet, we were competing with national class runners, and so it was rough. It was really hard. It was great. So I'm so humbled that I get to be inducted into the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Hall of Fame. So thank you. Sorry, I should quit sighing into the mic. I also want to just thank, there's so many people that have helped me in my running career and in life in general, and I could just go on forever, so I won't. But I wanted to thank the people specifically that were really instrumental in my running career at Mines. So first off, I wanted to thank Coach Oscar Bays, who isn't here tonight, but he's just a great guy. He's a world-class athlete that started running when he was like 39 or something, like reasonably old for, just figuring out you're a world-class runner. And he recruited me as a walk-on to the Mines cross-country team when I was a freshman, and he was actually head of the mathematics department, and I was really worried about being able to pull off studies and running, and he was like, you can do it, and I was like, okay, thanks. But it really meant a lot to me, because I'm like, well, you're the head of the math department. If you think I can do it, okay, I'll try, So it was really cool having him believe in me, and then it was also just, he would do all the workouts with us, all the cross-country workouts, tempo runs and stuff, and he's literally like a half century older than us, and he's just crushing it, and we're just like, you can't complain when this guy has so much more life experience than us is just out like what, suck it up, buttercup, So it was just, he was a great first collegiate coach, just very important to me. And then I also want to thank Coach Art Seamers, brother of Chris Seamers. And he's just this incredibly fast guy that came to Mines my second year and coached the distance squad. And he basically was instrumental in taking a team with pretty good raw material and just taking us to the next level. So I want to thank Art. I also wanted to thank Coach Scott Van Sickle, who's right there. He's so they opened up the steeplechase to women the year I won, which was cool. But I didn't know how to do it. So, none of us did. So we were like, cool, barriers and stuff. And it kind of alleviates the tedium of just running in circles. So we kind of thought it'd be fun. But I'm kind of known for being a little clumsy. My family kind of doesn't let me forget it, but I think there's been enough times where I've opened a door and then just run into the door or whatever. And so I needed help learning how to jump over stuff. And so I just really wanted to thank Scott for, I'm pretty sure every day after practice, he was just working with me on the hurdles, and it was an endurance sport for you, Scott, so Thanks. But anyway, it was that was cool. And if it weren't for Scott, I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do the steeplechase. And the fact that I was is just still kind of a source of wonder and hilarity to me and my family. So thank you. Let's see. I also just wanted to thank my teammates, everybody I ran with, and of course any athlete here knows that just your teammates, your long sweaty days on the bus, and just it's not glamorous. It's a lot of just being nervous and making bad jokes and all that stuff. But it just really becomes a real family, and we're supporting each other through this very high stress experience. And I'm just really grateful for the people that I got to do life with during my time at Mines. Let's see, I have more. I'll try to go fast. I also wanted to thank my family, Ryan, who you met in the video, who's a really good husband, and I'm just so grateful for you. We met in calculus class, so it's nerd love. It's great. And he came to all my meets and thinks I'm cool, and so that's pretty awesome. I think you're cool too. I also wanted to thank my mom. I think she just cries about everything. She's crying right now, but I think whenever she sees like probably any running race, but including ones I was in, I think she plays Chariots of Fire in her head, and she's just like getting into it, and just like crying, and it's great. So thanks, Mom. And then I also wanted to thank my dad. Try not to cry, but he's a person who got me into running. He's an awesome athlete. I remember when we were little kids and we were on our little mountain bikes, and we weren't strong enough to go up hills, so my dad would run and pull us. Like he fashioned some sort of crazy thing that like attached to him and pulled us up the trails in Evergreen. And anyway, he definitely was. That's where I got my nerd genes. Thanks, Dad. But he was instrumental in getting me involved in running and supporting me in it. And he'd come to all our races in high school. And I would call my dad before every race in college, even really early in the morning. I was thinking about all this leading up to this event, and I was like, man, like that's kind of annoying. But I remember it being like pre-dawn and like calling Dad and being like, Dad, like I'm racing in 4 hours, like. And he would always say the same thing. It was usually like a very short conversation, and I knew what he was going to say before he said it. But he always said, the effort's up to you, the outcome's up to God. So I was like, okay, like, and I always thought that was so, I guess encouraging, because, you know, as an athlete, you're just like, you're knots leading up to your event, and you're just so worried about if you fail or whatever dumb stuff. But you forget to enjoy the moment and to appreciate the gifts you've been given and that you can do this stuff. And I always appreciated that perspective from Dad, and I think that it really helped me. So I read into it a little too much, but basically I thought it was great advice, and it made me realize how if I'm just responsible for the effort, like I should try really hard, because it's like that's the only thing I have to do. So it really made me kind of seek out my limits in a way that I don't think I would have really thought about as much otherwise. And it's just something I've carried with me, I guess, beyond athletics, that it's like if you just try hard, it's really not that complicated. You just do it. And it's sometimes your best effort, you'll win, and sometimes you'll get trampled, which actually did happen to me once. But you can feel good about it when you're done if you just like try your best. So thanks, Dad. Yeah, I guess to wrap up, I just want to thank you guys so much. And again, thank the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. It's the experience of a lifetime, both to be able to compete for what I consider to be the best conference, but also to get honored like this, and just want to thank you. Thanks.